Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Amy Carr Hilton and I know firsthand the hardships of figuring out how to recover from chronic pain and other chronic symptoms on our own. So I'm inviting you here to explore our pain mastery together because it is you who has the greatest power to influence your own pain healing. And I really want to share this experience with you. Hi guys, I just want to talk a little bit about emotions and how we feel and process emotions and why it's important to give ourselves the space to do that and let go of the story that we have around it. So why do we hold on to stories around emotion anyways? You know, when we think about the big ends of the spectrum of emotion, happiness or sadness, anger, grief, either end of the spectrum, whether we might label it as positive or enjoyable or negative, not so enjoyable. The big ones we tend to want to rationalize, to justify, to classify, to explain. And when I think about why this is from my own personal experience, is it comes down to fear. And when it's an emotion that we might label as positive, like happiness or joy, there's a fear that we might lose it and we might never get it back. And so I think that these stories that we hold on to, you know, what makes us happy, how we can get that back again if we lose it, I think that is really just coming from fear. And fear of loss and fear of scarcity. And then the other flip side of it, of course, is anger, sadness, grief, frustration, those big emotions. It comes down to fear as well, but I think that comes down to more of a learned-based fear, that if we allow ourselves to express honestly and truthfully and just authentically, there are situations where that might not be acceptable and where we might not fit in or be accepted by our peers, by our elders. And so this is often things that we've learned throughout our life at different periods and different points of time, where we've been trying to fit in. Maybe as a child, throwing a tantrum on the playground, our friends laughed at us. Or maybe if we were morose at home, our parents would ignore us. Little things like that. It doesn't have to be big things, but small experiences like that teach us that those emotions are not safe to be with, to feel, to express authentically. And so I think that's why we come down to holding on to these stories. But here's the thing. The story does not help the processing. It actually causes more harm than good. When we stay stuck in the story around the emotion, we are keeping our limbic brain, our emotional center, repeatedly experiencing that over and over and over again. We're keeping ourselves stuck in that. And so, especially when it comes to those really big emotions like anger and sadness and grief, we need to give ourselves the space to just feel. By accepting whatever big feeling that is, the emotion and the sensation that is in our body with that emotion, because every emotion is felt as something in the body if we pay attention. If we allow that to be present, that is a huge safety signal. That is a huge message to our brain saying, hey, look, it's safe for me to be angry. I can be angry and be okay. And maybe it doesn't feel okay for a moment because it feels like heat that we can't control, like a hot tension in the body, or a furrowing of the brow, or a headache, or a clenching of the stomach, or a tightening of the butt cheeks, whatever it is. Those somatic sensations, then if you're not feeling safe with that, we need to go back to somatic tracking and use somatic tracking to help us process and find safety with those emotions as they show up as sensation in our body. So that's all I'll say about that now. If you want more help with this, I can really help you with this in Empowered Pain Mastery. And if you join the weekly live sessions, we can talk through things as you're going through it. But that's just a little tip for now. Just make sure you're giving yourself space to feel and letting go of the story. The story does not matter to your protective brain. It doesn't care. It actually causes more harm than good. All right, so I hope that's helpful. If you have questions or if you have experiences of your own that you want to share, please share. You can post below, you can comment, you can shoot me direct messages if you've got some questions about what I'm talking about here. And yeah, let us know how you're doing with it. All right,